In the cold depths of an alien war council, contempt for Earth's Deathworld humans runs deep, until an unexpected human attack shatters their arrogance. Alien leaders react with shock and dread as Earth's warships drop silently from orbit, bringing devastation with terrifying precision. Meanwhile, aboard a battered human command ship, a commander prepares for a desperate gamble, uttering a chilling promise that signals a grim power shift in the galaxy. The cavernous war chamber hummed with tense anticipation. Vast, crystalline. Panels curved along the walls, displaying countless star systems in cold luminescence. At the center, the Council of Sthark, a species renowned for their cold logic, gathered around a towering obsidian dais. Their elongated faces were carved with lines of disdain. "Earth," hissed Varkil, the high strategist, "a cursed death world crawling with lethal pathogens and primitive fauna, a world not even worthy of our interest." His voice echoed coldly. The dismissal unanimous. The chamber flickered to a live feed, captured by a distant orbital sensor over Earth's atmosphere. Below, forests burned. Acid rains glowing ominously under a cracked red sun. Scattered human settlements lay scorched, their silhouettes flickering in firelight. "Pathetic," sneered an advisor. "Their primitive fleets are no match for our." Bleat's plasma volleys and graviton disruptors. Then the screen stuttered. The feed warped into static for a tense heartbeat before snapping back. From the shadows of the view came a shock, an unmarked dark fleet emerging from cloaked orbit. Not one of the known human defense satellites or minor patrols, but vast warships, sleek, angular and silent, each humming with latent energy. "Impossible," whispered a younger counselor, voice trembling. "Our scans detected nothing approaching." The first ship dropped like a spear from the black sky, a pulse of gravity distortion rippling outwards as it pierced the alien atmosphere. Plasma cannons flared, slicing through the alien fleet with brutal precision. The Council watched in horror as ships disintegrated into cascading clouds of ionized metal and screaming energy. "Cease fire! Redeploy defenses!" Varkil barked, panic creeping into his normally icy tone. Yet the human ships advanced relentlessly, their coordinated strikes, surgical and terrifyingly efficient. Why are they like this? The youngest counselor gasped, eyes wide, as the council chamber trembled under a distant shockwave broadcasted live from the surface. In a sudden cut, the perspective snapped to a human warship orbiting high above the chaos. Commander Elena Rourke stood at the bridge, her gaze cold and resolute. The low hum of the ship's core thrummed through the steel floor beneath her boots. "EMPs charged," she said calmly, watching the alien countermeasures collapse in the ship's sensor feed. "Deploy nanoclouds in 3, 2, 1. Outside, a shimmering veil of nanobots burst forth, engulfing enemy sensors in a disruptive haze. Communication lines sputtered and died. Alien fleets staggered, their coordination shredded. "My mark," Elena whispered, gripping the console. "We show them the truth of Earth's death world." Below the hull's reinforced viewport, the red-brown planet pulsed, a crucible of fire and poison, the birth and tomb of countless horrors humanity had conquered. Elena's voice fell to a cold promise. "This is not mercy. This is retribution." A heartbeat later, the command ship's weapon systems unleashed, a fury of graviton lances, piercing the alien fleet like jagged shards of death. The warships rained fire and ruin, a brutal storm of human vengeance that shattered decades of alien complacency. Back in the council chamber, the obsidian dais cracked beneath Varkil's feet as the chamber quaked. "We underestimated them," he whispered, eyes darkening. "We mocked a death world, but death came from the skies." Silence fell heavy. The last transmission from the alien fleet before comms cut out was a shattered plea, drowned beneath the roar of approaching human warships, and in the eerie calm, Elena's voice echoed through the void. "They thought Earth was a joke. Now they will learn why we survive when others perish. The screen blackened. The balance of power shifted irrevocably. The aftermath of the human ambush leaves the alien fleet fractured and terrified. As alien leaders grapple with their failure, human soldiers on the ground in Earth's Deathworld face brutal challenges, both from the planet's hostile environment and the creeping fear that this war will demand sacrifices beyond reckoning. A scientist reveals hidden secrets of Earth's brutal evolution, underscoring humanity's terrifying resilience. The remnants of the alien fleet fled in disarray, shadows swallowed by the red storm churning below. On the cracked surface of Earth, the distant rumble of war echoed through twisted canyons and skeletal forests. Lieutenant Cara Dren crouched behind a scorched boulder, her armor scuffed and etched with layers of dust and ash. The air was thick, heavy with spores, toxic gases, and a biting chill that gnawed through her respirator filters. Yet Kara's sharp eyes scanned the horizon without faltering. "Report!" her squad leader barked through comm. Alien scouts, scattered, confused. No signs of organized resistance yet, Kara replied, voice tight. But this world, it's trying to kill us just as much as them. Nearby, a field scientist, Dr. Malik Verne, adjusted the readings on a portable bioscanner. His fingers trembled slightly beneath thick gloves. This planet's atmosphere harbors lethal mutagens, viruses and nanostructures evolved over millennia to prey on life itself. We're walking into a biological minefield. Kara glanced at Malik. No, wonder they called it a death world. Malik nodded grimly. Yet here we are, still alive, still fighting. Our ancestors survived this crucible. Our bodies and minds adapted with nanotech symbiosis, self-repairing cells, enhanced immunity. We are the ultimate product of survival. Suddenly, distant gunfire echoed through the toxic haze. Alien soldiers emerged, skittering, reptilian forms dripping with bioluminescent toxins. The air around them shimmered with weak cloaking fields, barely masking their approach. "Contact! Incoming from the west!" Kara shouted. The squad sprang to action, plasma rifles spitting blue arcs of energy into the creeping shadows. Explosions rocked the ground as alien bodies fell, but their numbers were relentless. Back aboard the command ship, Commander Elena watched the live feed with clenched fists. They're holding the line, but this world is unforgiving. Every step forward costs blood. Her second-in-command, Captain Jaro, frowned. The aliens won't give up easily. This is their territory, and they believe the humans are a primitive species. They underestimate our will. Elena's eyes burned. They're about to learn how deadly underestimated means. Meanwhile, in a distant alien command post, the high strategist Varkil struggled with fractured communications. The alien fleet's morale was collapsing. Whispers of betrayal and incompetence spread like wildfire. "Why do they survive where we perish?" an elder advisor demanded, voice cracking with desperation. Varkil's voice hardened. "Because Earth is not a planet to be conquered. It is a trial, a crucible where life itself has been forged through fire and death. Our weapons may be superior, but their will, their resilience is something we cannot comprehend." In the silence that followed, the weight of impending doom settled over the council. On the ground, Kara wiped grime from her visor and whispered to herself, "We carry the ashes of this death world within us, and soon they will carry the memory of us too." As the alien forces regroup, Earth's death world terrain proves an unpredictable ally and adversary for the human troops. Amid relentless ambushes and environmental hazards, a human soldier confronts the raw horror of the planet's ecosystem, revealing the grim costs of survival. Meanwhile, alien leaders debate desperate strategies, haunted by their failures and the relentless human advance. Kara's squad pushed deeper into the ashlands, a wasteland of blackened trees and jagged rock. The sky burned a dull orange as the Twin suns sank low, casting twisted shadows across the desolate landscape. The acrid scent of burning resin hung thick in the air. "Move fast," Kara ordered, voice low but steady. "Alien reinforcements will be here soon." Private Ishak stumbled, coughing violently as toxic spores invaded his suit's failing filters. "This place, it's alive, like it's watching us." Kara clenched her jaw. "It is, and it's hunting us." Suddenly, the ground trembled. From the cracked earth erupted a monstrous predator. 6 massive legs, armored scales reflecting dying sunlight, eyes glowing with predatory hunger. Its mandibles clicked in a chilling rhythm as it lunged forward. "Get down! Fire at the joints!" Kara yelled. Plasma bolts tore into the creature's limbs, but it charged relentlessly, forcing the squad into a desperate retreat. Ishak fell, a scream torn from his throat as the beast's crushing claws closed around him. "No!" Kara cried, racing forward. She raised her rifle and fired a precision shot, piercing the creature's exposed neck. It collapsed with a thunderous roar, releasing Ishak's broken body. "Medic!" she shouted. As medics rushed in, Kara's comm crackled. "Commander! Alien fleets regrouping near the northern crater. They're launching a counterattack." Elena's voice came through steady and cold. "Hold position. Earth's fury is our advantage. Use the terrain." Back in the alien command center, Varkil's countenance was grim. Their warriors are ferocious. Their Deathworld has honed them into something more than mere primitives. A younger advisor spoke. "Perhaps we underestimated the biological adaptations, nanosymbiosis, enhanced reflexes. They are an enigma wrapped in hostility." Vakil turned to the holographic map. "We must exploit their weaknesses, overwhelm them before they reach the core territories, cut their supply lines and force them to fight on our terms." But even as orders were issued, the Alien Council was fractured, some whispering fear of Earth's primitive resilience becoming a weapon of annihilation. On the battered human ship orbiting high above, Elena stared at the swirling storm clouds. They think they own the skies and the stars. They forget the human spirit is forged in fire, death, and rebirth. Her hand brushed a small emblem on her chest, the emblem of the old Earth resistance, a phoenix rising from ashes. It was a symbol of defiance. Suddenly alarms blared. "Incoming vessels, cloaked, unknown signatures detected." Eleanor's eyes narrowed. "Prepare for the next wave. We are the storm they never saw coming." The human fleet unleashes a stealth assault, cloaked by advanced nanotech, catching the alien armada off guard. On Earth, human soldiers confront deadly terrain traps, testing their endurance. Alien commanders grapple with rising panic as their tactical assumptions shatter. The human resolve sharpens into a ruthless edge, silent, lethal, and unstoppable. Darkness draped the space above Earth like a velvet cloak, broken only by distant stars. The human fleet drifted in near-perfect silence, cloaked by a shimmering nanotech veil that bent light and sensor waves alike. Captain Jaro scanned the alien vessels with quiet confidence. "Cloaking stable," he whispered. "They won't see us coming." Below, human infantry moved through the Deathworld's toxic jungle with measured precision, avoiding natural mines of corrosive spores and seismic traps laid by Earth's ancient predators. Private Erin halted abruptly, eyes wide in horror. "I just saw something, a shadow moving inside the acid fog." Lieutenant Kara nodded grimly. "Stay sharp. This world hunts the careless." The squad advanced, senses stretched taut. In the Alien War Council, fear began to metastasize like a virus. "Our sensors are useless against their cloaking tech," Varkil growled. "They are ghosts within our grasp." The High Strategist's voice shook. "If they strike now, before we regroup, we face annihilation." "Then we must strike first," a younger general snapped. Elena's fleet surged forward in a calculated strike, plasma bursts erupting like silent comets through the void. The alien armada, caught unprepared, flared in chaotic defense. Shield generators failing, Jaro reported. We punched through. Simultaneously, on Earth's surface, Kara's squad encountered a chasm filled with writhing bioelectric tendrils, an ancient death trap designed to snare and dissolve. We'll have to cross on the left ridge, Kara decided, voice tight. The squad scrambled over jagged rocks, tendrils snapping inches below. Private Ishak's boots slipped, moment frozen in terror before he caught himself. Focus, Kara urged. Every step could be our last. In orbit, Elena's voice crackled through the calm. This is more than war. It's survival against a galaxy that forgot how brutal evolution can be. Vakil's face paled as transmission signals flickered, disrupted by human EMP pulses. They use electromagnetic warfare, he gasped. Primitive, but devastating. The alien command trembled under an unthinkable truth. Earth's death world. Forged warriors who wielded both ancient instincts and futuristic horrors. Below, Kara wiped grime from her visor. We fight not because we want to, but because we were born to endure. A cold silence fell, the calm before the storm's final strike. As the alien forces reel from the sudden human strikes, desperation drives their commanders toward brutal decisions. On the ground, human squads face deadly counterattacks while forging bonds of fierce loyalty and sacrifice. A scientist unlocks a hidden weapon in humanity's arsenal, one born from Earth's cruel history and promise of ruthless mercy. The alien fleet staggered beneath the relentless assault, its formation shattered like brittle glass. High strategist Vakil paced the command chamber, voice sharp and raw. We are losing control. Their guerrilla tactics are relentless. Deploy the annihilator drones, an officer urged. We cannot allow them to dig in. Vakil's eyes narrowed. And what of the surface forces? Are our patrols still holding? Minimal contact, a general answered uneasily. Their ground troops are elusive and brutal. We underestimate their resolve at our peril. Below, Kara and her squad navigated a valley shrouded in ash. The silence was oppressive, broken only by distant echoes of skirmishes and the crackle of comms. Stay alert, Kara warned. The enemy will try to cut us off. Private Ishak limped but refused to slow. I'm not leaving anyone behind. Kara's gaze softened. Good. Because out here, loyalty means survival. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the valley. Alien forces surged from the shadows, bioelectric whips lashing through the air. Contact front! Kara yelled, opening fire. The battle erupted into chaos, metal and plasma colliding, bodies falling, the air thick with dust and fire. Nearby, Dr. Malik Verner activated a concealed device. A compact nanotech emitter pulsing with soft blue light. This is it, he whispered, our secret weapon. It disrupts their biofields, cripples their advanced cloaking and regenerative systems. The device hummed louder as alien forces faltered, confusion rippling through their ranks. Elena's voice cut through calm static. Hold the line. Humanity's mercy is not weakness. It is calculated. As the aliens retreated, their dread was palpable. They had underestimated Earth and humanity's capacity to turn death into a weapon. Kara surveyed the smoldering battlefield, voice steady despite exhaustion. We don't fight for conquest. We fight so they never forget. A grim smile passed between the soldiers, silent promises forged in the ember glow of resistance. The alien command fractures under mounting losses and human unpredictability. Meanwhile, human commanders confront the psychological toll of their brutal campaign, questioning the cost of victory. As secret technologies shift the balance, alliances form and betrayals simmer, revealing darker layers beneath the war's surface. In the dim glow of the alien command chamber, tension crackled like static electricity. Varkel's normally stoic facade fractured as heated voices echoed around the room. "Our strategies are failing," snarled a senior general. "Their primitive tactics defy logic." The high strategist slammed his fist against the console. "Enough! We must adapt or perish." But whispers of dissent brewed. "Perhaps we should negotiate," an advisor suggested cautiously. "Their resilience might be a sign." "Negotiate," Varkel spat. "They are monsters born from a Deathworld's fury. Mercy is their weapon, but it hides a predator's teeth." Thousands of miles below, Elena stood on the bridge of the Resolute, staring at a holographic map pulsing with incoming threats. Lieutenant Kara approached, eyes shadowed with fatigue. "They grow desperate. Their tactics are erratic, but deadly." Elena nodded. "And so must we be. War is more than firepower, it's mind and soul." Private Ishak wiped blood from his brow, voice strained. "Sometimes I wonder if we're becoming what we fight against." Dr. Malik adjusted his glasses, scanning a monitor. "Survival demands sacrifice, but there's a line we must never cross." Suddenly, alarms blared. An unidentified signal pierced the comms. "Encrypted transmission," Malik said. "Origin unknown." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Patch it through." A distorted voice crackled to life. "This war benefits no one. A faction within your ranks seeks power beyond the battlefield." "Who are you?" Elena demanded. "An ally or a threat?" the voice warned. "Beware those who wear humanity's face but hide darker ambitions." The transmission cut out, leaving a haunting silence. Varkel stared into the void, dread rising. The enemy was not just human warriors, they were shadows in their own ranks. Kara's squad prepared to move, each member carrying burdens heavier than armor. "We fight to protect our home," she said quietly, "but also to remember who we are." The battlefield was no longer just a place of conflict. It was a crucible of identity, where survival and morality clashed in endless struggle. Amid the chaos, buried histories resurface, revealing Earth's brutal past that forged humanity's lethal edge. Alien forces begin to question their understanding of Deathworlds and the true cost of survival. Human leaders wrestle with ghosts of sacrifice as a crucial mission forces a devastating choice, pushing their limits and redefining what it means to endure. The ash hung thick in the valley like a shroud, each breath a reminder of lives lost and battles fought. Lieutenant Kara's squad trudged forward, their boots imprinting silent elegies on the scorched earth. "Why does Earth demand such a toll?" whispered Private Erin, voice barely audible beneath her respirator. Kara looked over her shoulder, eyes reflecting the fading light. "Because this planet tests everything, mind, body, spirit. It's death and rebirth intertwined." Dr. Malik adjusted his gear, scanning ancient soil samples collected moments before. "The planet's toxicity isn't just a hazard, it's a weapon, and humanity adapted." Elena stood before a wall of war memorials on the Resolute, her fingers tracing names carved deep into cold metal. Every name is a story. Every sacrifice fuels this fight. In the alien command, panic gave way to introspection. "These Deathworld natives wield pain like a blade," muttered an elder strategist. "We thought we understood survival, but we have underestimated evolution's cruel wisdom." Varkel's voice trembled as he stared at holograms showing fallen units. "Our arrogance blinded us to the true nature of their world and their spirit." Back on the ground, Kara's squad faced a choice: a route riddled with lethal spores or a narrow canyon teeming with hostile predators. "We can't wait," Kara said. "Every moment means more lives lost." The squad moved with grim determination, hearts pounding as unseen dangers lurked. Suddenly, a scream shattered the tension. Private Ishak was caught in a spike trap, agony etched across his face. Kara reached him, voice breaking. "Hold on, Ishak. We're not leaving you." He grasped, Her hand, eyes fierce. No one survives alone, remember that. The squad fought through, haunted by echoes of the fallen and the weight of survival's cost. Elena's voice cut through the comm. Victory is not measured by the ground we hold, but by the lives we save, and those we honor. A silent promise, echoed through the dark. Humanity's fire was born of sacrifice and would burn until the last breath. The alien forces launch a brutal counter-offensive, shattering human supply lines and forcing a desperate regroup. Meanwhile, human leaders confront internal fractures and moral dilemmas as survival demands impossible decisions. The fragile hope of peace flickers amid the chaos, challenged by secrets that threaten to unravel everything. The void above Earth erupted in violent flashes as alien cruisers tore through the fragile human supply convoy. Explosions bloomed like poisonous flowers, scattering debris into the silent abyss. Captain Jarrow's voice was taut over the comm. All units, fall back to secondary coordinates. Prioritize survivors and salvage. Below, the jungle trembled, with the thunder of alien dropships spilling forth squads clad in bioarmor and lethal intent. Lieutenant Kara scanned the horizon, jaw clenched. They're cutting us off. We need to move, now. Private Erin's hands trembled as she checked. Her ammo. How many are left? Enough to make them regret every step, Kara replied, voice steel. Back on the Resolute, Elena convened a tense war council. We cannot win by brute force alone, she warned. We must be smarter, but that means risking trust and lives. Dr. Malik's face was grim. There's a rift growing, among us and with our allies. Secrets are poison. Suddenly a transmission cracked through, voice urgent but unverified. A faction within your ranks seeks to seize command. They believe humanity's fate demands sacrifice beyond morality. Elena's fists clenched. Who are you? Show yourself! The message ended abruptly, leaving a silence heavier than the void. Alien commanders snarled in frustration, their once unified front fracturing under pressure. We are not invincible, Varkil admitted, eyes shadowed with doubt. Nor are they. On the ground, Kara's squad navigated a labyrinth of shattered trees and toxic fog, every step a gamble. We keep moving, she said, because giving up is the only real death. Private Ishak, recovering from wounds, nodded. We fight not for glory, but for the dawn we dream of. The horizon remained fractured, scarred by war, yet glimmering faintly with hope. As relentless, alien forces close in, humanity braces for a desperate stand. The psychological and physical toll mounts, forcing commanders and soldiers alike to confront their deepest fears. Hidden technologies surface amid chaos, and a pivotal revelation reshapes the war's trajectory, igniting a reckoning that will echo across the stars. Thunder rumbled low as dark clouds swallowed the sky, mirroring the storm gathering in human hearts. The valley where Kara's squad had taken refuge became a crucible, its walls closing in with alien pressure. We hold here, Kara commanded, voice unwavering. This is the line. Around her, soldiers fortified positions with grim resolve, each movement a prayer whispered against despair. Elena's voice crackled in the comm. All units, prepare for full assault. This battle will decide our future. Doctor, Malik adjusted the settings on a compact device pulsing with nanotech energy. If this works, it could disable their shield matrices long enough for us to break through. Private Ishak, limping but fierce, loaded his weapon. I'm not ready to die in the shadows. Suddenly, the night ignited with alien firestorms, plasma arcs and bioelectric strikes, lighting the battlefield like lightning in a hellscape. Kara fired into the chaos, senses razor-sharp. Every shot, every breath mattered. Amid the barrage, a strange pattern emerged, alien formations faltering as if disoriented. Malik's voice came urgently. Their cloaking disruptors are failing. The nanotech emitter is working. Varkil's command center descended into panic. Shields failing. Fall back, regroup, but retreat was chaos. Alien forces clashed and scattered, their discipline fracturing under the unexpected turn. Elena's voice was calm but fierce. Hold steady, this is our reckoning. Kara's squad surged forward, every step an act of defiance, every heartbeat a promise. The storm outside raged, but within a different fire burned, the unyielding spirit of a Deathworld people who refused to yield. The battlefield falls silent after the storm, but victory feels hollow. Human forces count their losses while grappling with the haunting costs of war. Meanwhile, alien leaders face internal collapse, and hidden agendas come to light, threatening to unravel fragile alliances. Humanity's true strength is tested, not just in battle, but in heart and spirit. The battlefield was a graveyard bathed in the pale light of dawn. Smouldering wreckage cast long shadows, mingling with the quiet cries of survivors. Lieutenant Kara surveyed the ruin, voice low. We won, but at what cost? Private Erin sank beside a fallen comrade, tears unspoken but heavy. Every victory tastes like ashes. Elena paced the command deck, face drawn. We cannot afford to forget. Each life lost sharpens our resolve. Dr. Malik examined data streaming from the front. Our tech worked, but only because we risked everything. In the alien halls of power, Varkil stared at fractured holograms, his empire unraveling. Your Deathworld warriors surprise us still, an elder muttered. Their strength is not just physical, it is something darker, deeper. Varkil clenched, his fists. They fight because they have nothing left to lose, but not all within the alien ranks agreed. Whispers of rebellion stirred, old loyalties breaking under new truths. Back on Earth's scarred surface, Kara's squad regrouped. Silently, the weight of survival etched on every face. Tomorrow we fight again, Kara said, not for glory, for those who cannot. A lone raven soared overhead, a symbol of endings and new beginnings. Elena's final words over the comm were simple, but resolute. Humanity is not just alive. We endure. We evolve. The ashes of war lay thick, but from them a fierce hope kindled, one that would blaze across the cosmos. As the war reaches its breaking point, humanity faces betrayal and shifting alliances that threaten to undo hard-won gains. Against a backdrop of crumbling empires and desperate gambits, a final risky plan ignites, a spark of hope wrapped in sacrifice, promising either salvation or oblivion. The stars hung cold and distant as Elena stared out from the command bridge. The weight of every lost soul pressed down on her shoulders. Trust is our greatest vulnerability, she said, voice heavy. Some within our ranks seek power over purpose. Lieutenant Kara entered, her face marked with exhaustion, but burning with fierce determination. We have one shot to end this, a strike deep into their core worlds. Dr. Malik approached with data pads flickering. The technology we captured can cripple their neural networks, but it requires a sacrifice. Elena nodded. We knew this war demands everything. Across the fractured alien empire, whispers of dissent turned to open revolt. Varkil's command splintered under pressure. His once mighty forces fractured and vulnerable. Your species is a paradox, Varkil growled to his lieutenants. Savage and brilliant, a fire that refuses to die. As human fleets prepared for the final assault, tensions flared, loyalties strained. In the shadows, conspiracies brewed. Kara tightened her grip on her weapon. We fight not just for victory, but for the right to define what comes after. The countdown began, silent, unyielding. In the stillness before the storm, Eleanor whispered, "For those who came before us, and those who will follow." A last ember of hope ignited, fierce enough to shatter worlds. In a final cataclysmic clash, humanity unleashes its hidden might, shattering alien dominance and rewriting the galaxy's future. The battlefield becomes a crucible of sacrifice, strategy, and unyielding will. As ancient grudges burn away, a new era dawns, one defined by humanity's unbreakable spirit and an uncertain peace forged through fire. The void stretched infinitely, a canvas of stars, cold and indifferent. Yet within that darkness, a single human warship blazed like a meteor, streaking through night. Commander Elena's voice was calm, yet every word carried the weight of countless sacrifices. This is our moment, the final strike. Below decks, Lieutenant Kara prepared. Her team, each soldier a quiet storm of nerves and resolve. The weapons they carried were not just tools of destruction, they were symbols of humanity's refusal to be erased. Dr. Malik moved beside her, adjusting a compact device humming with nanotech power, the culmination of years of desperate innovation. If this works, it will sever their command networks, blind their war machines, and give us the edge we need. The alien empire's heart, the citadel of Varkil, gleamed in the distance, a fortress of twisted metal and shimmering energy. Shields, surrounded by legions of relentless ships and troops, Varkil's command chamber was a scene of chaos. The once imposing warlord paced with fury, the cracks in his empire bleeding like wounds impossible to heal. "We face extinction," he growled, eyes burning with rage and fear. "But Earthlings, they fight with the fury of death itself." Outside, fleets collided like titans in the void. Plasma blasts lanced through clouds of debris, war cries echoed in countless languages, and the fate of worlds trembled in balance. On the bridge of the Resolute, Elena's gaze was fixed on the battle. Map, blinking red alerts, ship formations, and critical nodes. Every second was a chess move in a deadly game. "Deploy the nanotech disruptors," she ordered. "Focus on their shield generators." Kara's squad infiltrated the Citadel's perimeter, moving through tunnels twisted with alien architecture and guarded by relentless sentries. "Stay sharp," Kara whispered, every sense alert. "We're the ghost in their fortress." Dr. Malik activated the disruptor devices, swarms of nanobots that swirled invisibly, seeking their targets with deadly precision. Suddenly, alarms blared. The alien defenses were faltering. Shields flickered, then collapsed like paper under flame. "Now," Eleanor commanded. Human fleets surged forward, weapons blazing. Alien vessels, deprived of their protective barriers, were torn apart with ruthless efficiency. Yet victory demanded blood. Explosions rocked the Resolute as enemy fire found gaps in its armor. Elena's vision blurred, but her grip on command never wavered. Within the Citadel, Kara's team reached the central control nexus, a sprawling chamber pulsing with eerie light and humming energy. "Upload the virus," Malik instructed, sweat beading his brow. The nanotech swarmed into the core systems, fracturing alien code, corrupting command protocols, and sending shockwaves through their forces. But the Citadel fought back. Defense drones erupted from hidden compartments, attacking with blinding speed. One by one, Kara's soldiers fell, their bodies marked by the scars of sacrifice. "Push forward," she urged, voice breaking but unyielding. "For humanity." Outside, Elena fought her own battle, inside and beyond. Messages came through. Allies had turned against one another. Betrayal simmered within the ranks. "Trust no one but your own conscience," Elena whispered. Varkil, wounded but unbroken, prepared a desperate counterattack, a weapon of devastation designed to erase the planet itself. Kara's voice broke through the chaos on comm, fierce and raw. "We've breached the core. Initiating shutdown sequence." Malik monitored the virus's progress. Systems collapsing. We have minutes. The Citadel shuddered as energy failed, weapons died, and the alien war machine ground to a halt. Vakil roared in fury, but it was too late. On the bridge, Elena watched as the enemy fleet fragmented, ships exploding like dying stars. Humanity survives, she breathed. A silence settled, heavy with loss, but charged with new purpose. The war was over, but peace was just beginning. Aftermath Earth's skies cleared, revealing battered but unbroken stars. Survivors emerged from shadow, their faces etched with grief and hope. Kara tended the wounded, her voice gentle but firm. We live because we fight for each other. Elena addressed a gathering of allies and former enemies alike. This victory is not ours alone. It belongs to every soul who dared to dream of a future beyond fear. Dr. Malik smiled faintly. Our technology will rebuild worlds, but our hearts will define them. Vakil, defeated but alive, was brought before the new council, a symbol of a past era's collapse and a future's fragile promise. Earth, he said quietly, is no death world. It is a crucible, and humanity is its fire. Years later, under a sky of peaceful stars, children ran across fields once scarred by war. Elena stood beside Kara, watching the horizon. Did we change the galaxy, or did it change us? Kara asked softly. Elena smiled, eyes shining. Both. Humanity is not just a species, it's a force, relentless, unpredictable, and eternal. A quiet wind stirred the grass, carrying the promise of new beginnings. The ascension of Earth had begun.